Top 2 bands Don Henley hated. Don Henley is one of the most influential figures in rock music, both as a founding member of the Eagles and a successful solo artist. Henley's big break came in the early 1970s when he met guitarist Glenn Frey. Their musical chemistry led them to form the Eagles in 1971, along with Bernie Leadon and Randy Meisner. Known for his distinctive voice and reflective lyrics, Henley has played a significant role in shaping the sound of country rock and classic rock. The Eagles quickly became one of the most successful rock bands of all time, blending rock, country, and folk influences into a distinct style that would define the sound of the 1970s. Henley took on the role of drummer and lead vocalist, co-writing many of the band's biggest hits. They broke up in 1980 and went their separate ways. In 1994, he ended his long-standing feud with the Eagles and they decided to reunite and went on tour. His work with the Eagles and hits like Hotel California made him a staple of 1970s rock, while his solo career gave us enduring classics like The Boys of Summer and Heart of the Matter. Despite his immense success and lasting influence in the music world, Don Henley has been known to express his discontent for the band he disliked. Here are 2 bands he hated the most. The Guitarists. The Guitarists are an American punk rock band formed in 1996. The peak of their career came in 2003 when they released a cover of The Boys of Summer. The theme of the song is all about looking back at the past and longing for lost people and moments. The song was a global hit and remains one of Henley's best-loved tracks. In 2003, the punk rock band The Guitarists covered Henley's iconic solo track The Boys of Summer, bringing the song to a new generation. Their version became a hit, peaking at number 2 on the Billboard Modern Rock chart. However, Henley was far from impressed. Known for his sharp criticism, Henley publicly expressed his dislike for their rendition, dismissing the Guitarists as poor songwriters. Despite the success of their cover, Henley found their version lacking in the depth and nuance that made the original song so powerful. He viewed their interpretation as a superficial take on a song that reflected themes of nostalgia and loss. I mean, they wrote some songs very poorly, they were not very good songwriters, and they put out an album, and the only song that people would want to hear when they did a concert was Boys of Summer. While Mike Campbell, the guitarist who co-wrote The Boys of Summer, was more complimentary of the Guitarists' effort, Henley was unmoved. For him, the original's timeless quality, with its reflective lyrics and repetitive riff, was hard to match. He saw the Guitarists' pop-punk version as a momentary flash in the pan, far from the lasting impact of his own work. Rush. Rush, the Canadian progressive rock band, gained massive popularity in the 1970s and 1980s with albums like Permanent Waves. Known for their technical musicianship and innovative sound, Rush built a dedicated fan base and continued to release new music until the 2010s. However, Henley had little admiration for them. He pissed on Rush in a mean-spirited and arrogant way in an interview he gave about why the Eagles got back together. "I can't think of another band that has broken up for 14 years, then got back together and made a record singling out Rush with the remark, 'You do get bands like Rush getting back together. Yuck.'" Henley's criticism seemed both unfair and unfounded. Unlike the Eagles, Rush had never broken up before their eventual retirement, continuing to evolve and produce music over the decades. His comments, perceived as arrogant and mean-spirited, showed that while Henley had great respect for his own band's comeback, he did not extend the same courtesy to others who had endured just as long, if not longer, in the music industry. Henley's disdain for certain bands like the Guitarists and Rush reflects his fiercely protective attitude toward his own musical legacy. He remains a formidable presence in the world of rock music. His influence is undeniable, even if his opinions don't always win him friends among his fellow artists.